Hello, and welcome to part 3 of my series on mastering Star Ocean's second story R. Today we will be talking about the completely new feature, Remaking. It's possibly the most broken thing, maybe ever, in a Star Ocean game. You'll see. This episode is probably going to be the most popular because it covers, a whole brand new system that nobody knows about unless they've played this version before. It's not a quick process, but it is an easy process. So let's jump in here. Now, unlike the previous times, I won't be doing absolutely everything starting from exactly this point. I did do some work off camera in order to speed it up just a little bit. However, we will be doing a live demo starting from nothing. So the first thing you're probably wondering is, what exactly is remaking? Well, let's take a quick look here. So every item, every piece of equipment can now have a factor on it. This was not in the original version, and as you can see, effect and factor are completely different. So whatever your weapon's effect is does not affect what factors it can have. The only thing that affects what factors it can have is the type of equipment that it is. So, for instance, you see HP drain here on the sword. Normally, you cannot get HP drain on anything except a weapon. And in this way, or I should say, it's important to map out the factors that you want so that you can fit all of them onto the unique slots that you have. So I guess first we'll just talk about a good set of factors to have. We've got Action here with nothing. He's got a lot of good equipment, but he has no factors on any of it. What we're going to do over the course of this episode is we're going to give him much the same factors that Claude has on his gear. So here, of course, you see HP drain. 20% of the damage inflicted, you get back as HP. That really is just as good as it sounds. You heal by attacking, which completely removes the need to actually field a healer like Ren, or Opera, or Noel. Here we have Narrow Escape. This, combined with HP Drain, is fiendishly powerful. It basically copies the effect of Second Chance, if you've ever played Kingdom Hearts. It's exactly as good as it is there, here. So if you're reduced to 0, and you have 40% or more of your health, you just don't die. And then, you deal a hit, and you heal back to basically full, and then you can take another hit. So this is how you avoid being killed in one hit on Chaos Mode. The combination of these two factors. Now for the other pieces of gear, first of all you'll notice I've chosen the dueling suit here because it nullifies petrification. I have a mithril shield here nullifying paralysis, which effectively makes you immune to both of the important status effects. Now on this piece of gear we have Gathering Stars, and Gathering Stars is probably the factor that I see the most confusion about online. It gives you 20% to the 5 attacking, defending, the combat stats, you would say. All 5 of the main combat stats. You get 20% if you have 3 copies of the same factor. And what that means is you need 3 pieces specifically with the Gathering Stars factor on the same character. So just like this. And then for our accessories here, we have Break Up on the Berserker ring, and we have Hit Up 20% on the Ring of Might. Now, the reason I have Hit Up here is because on Chaos Mode, it's very difficult to hit the enemies. If you're on a lower difficulty, you can probably actually move Gathering Stars onto your accessory, and then you can put like defense or a void onto your helmet instead. The main reason that Gathering Stars is so good in optimized builds is because normally the only piece of gear you can have that gives you offensive stats is the weapon. Attack plus 20% is normally the strongest attack boosting factor you can have. So here we can convert 3 of our armor slots into attack plus 20. But we also get the hit. The defense, a void are less important because on Chaos, you're fighting a losing battle there. And of course, Int doesn't matter for Claude, but if you had a spellcaster, they would benefit from the Int. So, it basically benefits everybody all the time if you can fit this in, which you can't always. But the main way that we're doing it is we have 2 very powerful defensive factors here, so we can focus on offense on all of the other stats, or all the other pieces of gear. Alright, so we've seen the build that we want. We can see that Ashton here has a lot of the same gear. He can't use the Mithril Shield, but he does have a Star Guard instead, so no surprises. How do we get these kinds of factors onto this gear? Well, it's a little bit lengthy starting out, but once you have all of the material, it gets a lot faster. So, let's actually get started. The first thing you're going to need, let's go over here. First thing you're going to need, for sure, is the Lizard's Flask. And this is so that you can make any type of stone that you want from alchemy. Yeah, this menu will show it all. We're actually going to be using a lot of these specialties here. You're going to see Master Chef get used. You're going to see Orchestra get used. We will need Blacksmithing. And of course, the subject of the video itself is Remaking. Now, I won't go over how to get all of these things because basically all the info you need for that is in part 2 already. You can use authoring, writing to make books, and then spam it on everybody for free until you get the levels you need for the specialties here, super specialties. You basically never have to use Remaking at less than level 10. I can't guarantee, for that matter, that any of this works as well as it does if you're not at Remaking level 10. So just make a bunch of replication books. Anyway, the alchemy component for blacksmithing is the reason you need the Lizard Flask. The other thing you need, the secret shop, as the Magical Rasp, which is the support item for customization and blacksmithing. And of course, as always in the previous version, it lets you make stronger things in blacksmithing as well. Now, if you don't know where this is, let's just quickly go out to the map here. It is nestled on a small island, invisibly, between the giveaway town, now called Prince Bridge, and the Field of Power, or Field of Might, as it's called now. You'll actually know which one it is by there being a chest here. It's got some free experience cards. Alright, so now we've established all the things we need. How do we actually control our factors? So let's just quickly open the Remaking menu. So it's a little more clear what I'm talking about. So here you'll see you can select 5 materials, and whatever you add affects the bars on the side. We'll just add some Primaveras here. You can see as you add materials, the bars on the side change, and the chance of the factor being applied go up. You'll basically always have 100% if you use 5 materials. The thing that you're most concerned about is the type of factor that you're trying to add, and there's no real easy way to figure them all out. I will link a guide that just lists all of the factors and their types and rarities. Somebody had put on the Steam forums. I've used it. It's accurate and it's good. Just cross-reference the list. Now, in order to control the kinds of factors you want to add at any given time, what you want is 3 specific kinds of things. For buffs, what you're looking for is an accessory. And this one in here, you can see I've already stolen it, but there is an earring of the winds. And let's just take a quick look at that. Here you can see the Masterwork factor. When you use this as a material, you have a 10% bonus chance to get a rare factor. So the first thing you want to do for any type of factor is find something that boosts the bar and then put Masterwork on it. In this case, we're stealing the Earring of the Winds as our accessory. And now that we have one, we can go ahead and just replicate it. A couple times. More times than we need, actually. Alright, now we have 20 Masterwork earrings, which means we can now get buff factors. How do we get support factors? Well, support factors come from armors. So let's just go ahead and buy 1 quality armor. And then let's do some more replication. Oh, that was running. My fault. We will need to buy more food. And of course, as covered in the previous video, if you use Orchestra, your chance of retaining materials goes way up, which means you can spam a lot more. You can see replication is actually very difficult to succeed at. Only a 72% chance copying this armor. But it's good enough. You just play the orchestra and you can spam through it. Now you'll notice, of course, unlike the earring which we stole, this doesn't have Masterwork on it. The question is, how do we get Masterwork specifically? Well, the third bar is special. There's buff, support, and special. Masterwork is a special factor. So which type of material do we want for special? Well, that is a weapon. A caster weapon, specifically. So let's just quickly grab one here in Armlock. The Grizzly Clasp, used by Noel, is fine. And of course, we only need to buy one. We can replicate 20 more. These are nice and easy to copy. There we go. 20 of those. Now, let's just make a quick save. Now you might be asking yourself, why did I mention Master Chef at the beginning? That is because there is this plain omelette. If we actually go into the Master Chef menu, it might be easier to see. I believe it is eggs. Eggs, yes. Here you go. Recover 15% MP, we don't care about that. But what we do care about is that when we're remaking, we create more rare factors. Very easy to get this. So let's just eat one. And now, we'll save again. I should have done that before save. And now we're going to go to remaking. And go to our caster weapon that we picked up. we're going to do a batch of 10, just like any other creation, you can do a batch of 10 in a row. And then we're going to go over to shrimp. Shrimp are great, they're very cheap, they raise special, and they lower buff and support, which is exactly what we're looking for in this context. Alright, so did we get Masterwork in one try? We did, right there. Alright, now that we have our Masterwork Grizzly Clasp, what we can do is we can sell all of the other ones. Not those ones. Oop. There we go. Now what we do, of course, is we replicate this one. And now we have 20 special Masterwork materials. And this will actually aid us when it comes to getting the last type. So we're going to go to Remaking now, and we're going to remake... Where is it? Mithril Mesh. And again, we're going to put some shrimp on. Except this time, we can actually use the Grizzly clasps to get the remaining special. It's usually 3 and then 2. This time, we should have an easier time getting Masterwork, because we have the extra 20% here. Let's see if we did. There's, again, no guarantee. We did not. That's okay. We'll just reload and try again. This is going to be real embarrassing if I forgot to save. Nope, okay, I did remember to save. Alright, so we'll scroll back down here. Try another 10. 2 Grizzly clasps for the Masterwork, and then shrimp. Oh, I did not look. Hopefully it will show here. We did not get any. Unfortunate. This is the most annoying part about remaking, is that even if you go and you maximize your chances, you can still wind up doing a bunch of resets. And this is unfortunately the best way that you can do it. There's no secret trick to manipulating the factors. If you find a secret trick to manipulate the factors, please tell me. I would love to know. It would probably revolutionize the game. Again, we did not get it. We could do 2 batches of 10 if we felt like it, but this is slightly more economical. I just don't feel like eating another omelette. Part of optimizing remaking is you gotta refresh the materials you're using so that they stay close to the top of the recent tab. Alright, here we go. We got a copy of the Masterwork Mesh, so just like the other pieces, we can sell all the ones that are not Masterwork. And then do some replication. We're gonna have to go back to the shop. It actually should technically be faster if I warp between the shops. Walk there. Sorry, it's a struggle to go through the menus quickly while explaining things, going fast. Recreation gems, by the way, are why you can't do this any earlier. They only become available in shops right after you can fly. So that's the part of the story we're at. We've just procured the sign art and we can go anywhere we want. Maybe I should have mentioned that at the very start. Replication. And 2, 3, 4. Oh, gotta make sure you're using your experts. There we go. Alright, so now we have a Masterwork spellcaster weapon for special factors. We have a Masterwork armor for support factors, and we stole ourselves a Masterwork accessory. Now, if you are unable to steal this for whatever reason, you already stole it and you discarded it or whatever, you can use the same process. You just need to make any kind of accessory, really, and then do the same process. Put your caster weapons on it, some shrimp on it, and force a Masterwork onto it. Anyways, now we have Masterwork bar boosters for all types of factors. So now the only question is, what factors do you want? Now, how do we go about, for example, putting HP drain on this Mephistophar? Well, I can tell you that drain factors, HP and MP drain, are support factors, and you can see that they're rare because the name is gold. So how do we go about getting a rare support factor? Well, what you can do, you could just eat a plain omelette, and you could say, let's go remaking, and we'll take the Mephistophar, and we'll just slap on some... Oh, we don't want to use shrimp. Sorry, I didn't cover this. For support, you want to use books. Any old books. You can make them en masse. And then you throw on some Mithril Mesh. And we have one more. Right. So here, you can see we got a 100% chance of getting a factor. We know it will be a support factor because the other bars are at 0. And we have a pretty strong chance of it being a rare fest. So here we rolled it once. Wow, we got MP drain. That's actually a very good factor. It's not the one we wanted, though. So the key, as you might have already surmised, instead of rolling 1 at a time, you can take steps to roll 10 at a time. In this case, what you would want to do, you would have to make a bunch of Mephistophars. Luckily, that's pretty easy for us. If we don't already have them, we can go over here. Ah, I already did have 20 of them. I planned ahead. So let's go ahead and just customize Luminous Slicers Damascus. Ashton is not wearing rainbow diamonds. Silly me. Let's reload to save those. And put the rainbow diamonds on first. I'm lazy and I like saving SP, so I use rainbow diamonds instead of actually getting him to level 10. That's covered in part 2 as well. Big SP savings there. Alright, let's try that one again. Here's 10 Mephistophars. Unfortunately, none of them have the factor we want, so we will have to manually make it. One part about remaking is that if you have unwanted factors, you can strip them off by just trying, and if you fail, of course I keep winning coin flips and not failing, you can strip factors off in order to stack them up in your remaking attempts. I have never won this many 50% in a row in my life. There we go. Alright, now we have 10 free Mephistophars. Let's go refresh our supplies. We will need some film, some remaking gems. Unfortunately, stripping factors off by repeatedly failing does count for remaking, so you'll need another omelette if you were saving them. Of course, the omelettes can be replicated, so you only need to make the one. Let's save again. Alright, now we can roll 10 times in a row, trying to remake the Mephistophar. That's the equipment. There we go. 10 of these, and we'll throw on booked. Book. To Masterworks. Max out the bar, Masterwork. There's MP drain, there's HP drain. Alright, we got it. So, there's the first thing. Now, how do we get more dueling suits? Well, those come from blacksmithing. Let's turn on orchestra, and we can go to blacksmithing. We'll use a tool, and we can see the dueling suit comes from Damascus as well. So let's just quickly make a bunch of those. Unfortunately, there's no way to specifically get dueling suits, and you can't replicate them either. So, spam blacksmithing it is. There we go. Let's check if we've made one with the factor we want already. It appears not. Well, that's fine. Once again, we follow the standard procedure. Find the dueling suits. And we strip the factors off. We are out of gems. Unfortunately. Well, that's alright. Let's go shopping. At this point, I just assume you have unlimited money, as you really should. If you have access to top-level customizations, you can just make anything that sells for more than what it costs to make. That's infinite money. Alright, let's keep going. Stripping the dueling suits. Alright, we have 11 now. So let's go over here. Let's eat another omelet. Save. And just like before, start remaking. Now, in this case, what did we want on the dueling suit? Well, Claude has narrow escape. And narrow escape, I happen to know, is a special factor. So, actually, interestingly, it is a special factor that is non-rare. So that means we actually shouldn't have eaten the omelet. That's okay, though. We still need to use the shrimp, because they are special. Find them as the materials tab if you don't have the newly purchased. So we'll just stick 5 shrimp on here. And 10 rolls. Oh, we got it. Excellent. Slap on our Narrow escape dueling suit. Star guards. Now these are actually very annoying to make, except in one case. There is a mission if you use blacksmithing 200 times, as I did in prep. I wanted to be able to show off every possible result. If you do the blacksmith 200 times mission, you get a Star Guard recipe, which will let you make a Star Guard guaranteed. Normally to make them, you have to use normal blacksmithing without the rat. Thankfully, in this version, you don't have to sell the rat. It lets you choose freely. But anyway, you choose normal, and then it's the hardest thing to make out of the highest level material, so it's pretty rare. But we have this recipe, so we're going to use this specifically to replicate. Now, just like in part 2, when we made the Rings of Might very early out of our spare rainbow diamonds, we will be abusing Orchestra to retain the Star Guard kit every time. So we're going to make one, we retained it, so we can save, and do it again, and hopefully retain it again, and that time we did not retain it, so we have to reload. I debated doing this part, copying the Star Guards off camera, but I figured I would give you the true experience, just as a refresher as well. What we saw in part 2 with the support item retention. Orchestra, differently powerful than it used to be, but still just as powerful, if not more so. There we go. And of course, we just need to repeat this until we have 10 Star Guards. We have 6. We did not retain. I don't actually know what the chance is. Maybe it's like 70% for the maxed out Orchestra. I don't know, I'm just saying a number off the top of my head. There we go. We retain, so we save. We did not retain it. I'm glad that they put the Star Guard kit in. Without it, it's so annoying trying to make it. On the plus side, while you're making them, you'll make a lot of the Star Greaves, which are the best blacksmithable Greaves for fighters. Particularly because they help you against Lucifer. They resist dark damage. Alright, we finally have 10 Star Guards, although actually that counts the one that Action is currently wearing. So we do need one more if we want to do a full set, which we may as well to maximize our chances. I want to keep the kit just in case I need more Star Guards later for something. Even though for this demonstration we wouldn't need it again after this. There we go. Now we have the Star Guards we need. We can save. And now, what are we looking for on the Star Guard? Gathering Stars. Gathering Stars is a factor you're going to want a lot. It is a rare special factor. which means you'll be doing remaking. Where did the star guards go? Am I crazy? Oh, they all have factors, that's why. I forgot the part where we have to strip them off. It's very funny, actually. You know, when you're remaking, you want the factors, but when you're just trying to blacksmith the materials, you kind of don't. Because you can only mass remake on items with the same factors, which in most cases it's going to be easier to have no factor than any particular factor overlap. You can see it's a lot of menuing and running back and forth, which is I'll be honest, it's very annoying. I do find remaking annoying, but that's part of why I'm making this guide, is because if you don't do it efficiently, it takes very long. Let's finish. You know, it might be worth it to actually sell all of the extra crap, so that there's less scrolling. Remind me to do that when we're in the shop again. Alright. So now we're going to have another one of our omelettes. Let's go ahead and remake. Star guards. Hopefully they stick out this time. There we go. And then for a rare special, we want shrimp, shrimp, shrimp. And then 2 of our caster weapon that we previously. Did we get it? We did. We got it in 1. As a matter of fact, we got more than 1. That's the power of mass remaking. Now, we're going to do the same thing, the same exact thing, with the Helm of Odin. And how do we get that one? Well, it's another blacksmithing. This time what we're blacksmithing is orichalcum. Now, since we're here, and we're going to have to go through this whole process again, I will bring up, there are foods for the other types of creation. Let's give this a try. We're going to create more rare factors while blacksmithing with the Sharkfin Dumplings. These, let's take a quick look at our Master Chef list. It's going to be seafood and grains. So now we're going to spam blacksmith orichalcum, and we might just get the Helm of Odin with gathering stars on it already. That would be the ideal situation. However, the annoying part is that if we don't, we're going to have more factors to strip off afterwards. Now we actually have 20. Did we make any with the factor we want? It might be faster to check the action. That is Claude's. No, we did not. How unfortunate. It's okay. We will just go through the same process again. That's the dueling helmet. Dueling helmet is another good helmet. However, it has 100 defense, but it doesn't have any other stats. I like the fact that there's critical on the Helm of Odin. It's another offensive stat. It's a rare offensive stat at that. Very difficult to get critical on pieces other than weapons. I wish there was a way to guarantee that you fail. Unfortunately, part of having maxed remaking is that you succeed randomly 50% of the time. Alright, we're going back to the shop, and this time I'm going to clean out the crap that we made in the previous steps. We don't need any of these Mephistophars, because Ashton already has the one that he wants. It might be worth it to keep one MP drain in the future, just in case. All this holy armor, those are the fail cases. Mithril Mesh, we do want to keep that. Have a bunch of extra reflecting plates we don't need. And all these dueling suits. Actually, already has the narrow escape that he wants. We don't need these extra star guards. We have 16 Helms of Odin without any effect on them, so we don't need to strip off anything. As a matter of fact, we can actually sell 6 of them. Don't need any of these dueling helmets. And that, I think, should be it. Nope, alright, good. Let's do a quick refresh of our supplies here. This hammer. There's the baton, creation gems, and luckily shrimps are also available in this shop. Most of the good factors are honestly special ones, so it's good that shrimps are so widely available. They're also good for fishing, if you're interested in fishing. Ooh, I should have eaten an omelet. Sorry, I'm a compulsive saver. Do another quick save. And now, we can do our remaking attempt. Once again, we are looking for gathering stars. So that's going to be special. And rare. Didn't get it in one that time. It's okay. We just do a quick reload. They're at the bottom now. So nice. Not that. This. It's so wonderful. Having just bought shrimp, you can just tab right over. It'll be at the very top. Unfortunate. Once again, we have failed to get Gathering Stars. Gathering Stars, once again, since you need 3 copies of it in order to work, most of your time is going to be spent re-rolling for this factor specifically. It's almost a meme. There we go. Wow. Of course, now we get 3. Not that we needed 3. There we go. Alright, Star Greaves. Star Greaves are fairly easy. Well, at least they're easier than Star Guards. need, I believe, 14, counting for the ones that I'm already wearing. Yeah, that was much easier. Alright. You should check. Do any of them have Gathering Stars already on? These ones are already equipped to other characters, so they don't count. Alright, that's fine. We will just strip factors off. And you can kind of get into this groove. You can see, step 1, mass craft the thing that you want the factor to be on. Step 2, strip the factors off of any that you made. Alright, we already have more than enough. Once you have 10 or 20 if you're feeling particularly adventurous. Then you do remaking, and you remake. Oh, we don't have enough gems. We can only do 6. Go straight to the side. So remaking. Unfortunately, I don't believe Orchestra does anything to help with this. And even if it did, it would have probably only affected the chance of the factor being applied. Oh, look at that, we got it in 1. Finally, some decent luck. Now, the last piece we need is the Berserker ring and the Ring of Might. Well, the fun thing about the Berserker ring is actually they can be replicated. Since we already have a copy on Claude, we can just go to Replication. And then replicate that one straight up. And there we go, we got it. I want to quickly note, though, that if you go across all of my characters, you'll see all of their Berserker rings have something different. And the Ring of Mights all have hit plus 20 on them. Now that doesn't make sense. Well, actually this doesn't yet for demonstration purposes, but these 3 do. That doesn't make sense on the face of it, because why wouldn't I just put the hit plus 20% on the Berserker ring, copy it, and then have only one thing to make? Well, the reason there is the Ring of Might actually cannot be copied, so it's much more annoying to get different factors on. I prefer to do all of them in a single batch. If you have all of them set to look for the same thing, it's much easier. Whereas Morale Booster, for instance, and Full Bonus, they are, I believe they're support factors. Or, no, Break Up is the support factor, and these 2 are specials, so I can't get these 2 in the same batch anyway. So if I have to do more batches, I would rather have the much easier item to make, so I can do more batches much faster. The Ring of Might is more difficult to make because it can't be replicated, so I'd rather do one good batch all going in the same direction. It's a minor optimization that only makes sense when you really think about it. Of course, you can follow whatever steps you want. You don't have to be perfectly optimal, as long as you get what you're looking for in the end. So, Ring of Might. How do we finish Ashton's build here? Well, we need to make more Rings of Might, and if you are a fan of the series, You'll know we already made a bunch of those in part 2. This time it's much, much easier. We don't have to worry at all about retaining, because we can just make as many rainbow diamonds as we want with alchemy. Still, we will try to retain. We're going to go to Claude here. We'll go rainbow diamond. Look at all these kits we have. Unfortunately, none of them really relevant. There's one. There's two, actually. Alright, well, we got 9. That's probably good enough. It actually might serve to prove my point, actually. How much easier it is to get these specific factors. Once again, like I was saying at the beginning, the type of item affects the factors that it can have. In this case, we're going to see... we have to strip. Wait a minute, maybe we don't even have to strip. It looks like we already got one. Yeah, right there. Look at that. We got to save time. However, just for the sake of it, I will do an example. So we're going to grab a Ring of Might. We can just use the one that Action has, actually. For buffs, you want to use the earring that we stole before, or whatever accessory you wind up making. And intriguingly, you can actually just use 5 just like that. Paradoxically, this means that the rare accessory factors are actually some of the easiest factors to get. And for buffs, there's only, I think, 3 kinds it can be. It can either be HP, MP, or hit. So you're really stacking the deck, in particular, going for hit if you were to roll this 10 times. Here we got HP, but we lucked out and we got another copy of hit just while we were randomly building up our stock. Alright, so let's save. I wasn't paying attention to the time when I started the broadcast or started the video, but that would be an example of how you start from nothing and you get all the factors that you want. You can cut some corners depending on whether you luck out in the mass crafting phase, or if you happen to already have something that you want on multiple characters. But that's how you do it the long way. First, you have to get your Masterwork materials for all 3 kinds. You can just buy stuff from the shop. Then you force Masterwork onto it with special remaking. And then once you have all of them, you can manipulate all the bars to get whatever kind of factor you want. And from there, you just mass craft into mass remake. And that's how you do it. Now, I do want to talk quickly about the builds that I have. I didn't want to subject you to this 3 times in a row, or 4 times, so I did the other characters off camera. Let's put Claude's accessories back on here. Oh, I'm silly. We actually did not finish Action because the Ring of Might that he has on is the Ring of Might that Claude was using. Well, for demonstration purposes, that's good enough, I think. But I do want to talk quickly about Priestess's build. She cannot use the same equipment that Claude can. She is not able to use the heaviest armor. Instead, she has a reflecting plate. And you'll notice for her, I've gone with Rally instead of Narrow Escape. That's because the way that you want to optimally use Priestess, she'll be in the back line, just throwing force fields. She'll never be targeted. If she does happen to get targeted, she can die. She'll just get right back up. She also uses MP a lot, really fast. That's why we focused on MP drain. We don't think she'll be targeted. We don't really even plan for it, but we have the rally as a backup. Just spam those moves from the back line. It's Claude and Ashton who are in danger of dying. That's why they have HP drain, narrow escape. The Hand of Kali, very nice shield for women. It's got hit and crit on it, along with attack power. The Mithril Helmet is kind of whatever, but it's the best Priestess can do. Now, I want to move quickly to Welsh, because this is an example of how you truly break the game. We have the MP train, final handy stick, mostly the same as Priestess, except the helmet. We're using the Bloody Helmet. You are invincible while you have MP wearing this, and because of MP drain, you will never ever run out of MP. As a result, you are invincible. You take no damage, you don't even have to worry about status effects either. This is truly the best way, in terms of efficiency, in terms of power, to play the game. It's not the most exciting way, but it is technically the best. And, well, it's obvious why it would be, but the subtle reason is that you also don't need as many factors. You only need one factor. You need the drain. For Claude to be quote-unquote invincible, he needs the drain and the narrow escape. Welsh doesn't need that. So she has one extra factor, actually. You can see I didn't even bother making her anything on her boots. Alright, I think that's just about covered everything that I wanted to in terms of remaking. You've seen all the steps, starting from nothing, how you can get everything you want, even if it is a slow process. The key is really just to do it in batches of 10, so you need to do less rerolls overall. Like I said, I will put a link to where all of the factors are, or what kind they are, and what would you say? Their classification would be normal or rare, and then what type they are, buff, support, special. I'll put a link to the Steam forums that just lists all of them in the description here. Yeah, so that's remaking. If you use it properly, my characters are all now basically invincible. Priestess isn't really invincible, but she'll never be hit. Welsh is truly invincible, and then Claude and Ashton are basically invincible. Alright, thanks for tuning in. In part 4, we will talk about basically the capstone. How do you really actually do the most damage you can? Because believe it or not, we can do a lot more than this, even before post-game. See you next time.